Let me take you back to 1996. Oh wait, that doesn't make any sense. I was born that year. Fuck! Anyway, Crash Bandicoot was a game developed by Naughty Dog for the PlayStation because cartridges were outdated and everyone had learnt from Sega's past abominations. The game itself was widely popular amongst gamers and became a hot-selling game, spawning multiple sequels over many years, which I will also cover in detail over time. And with talk of a new game after about 6 years, everybody's talking about Crash Bandicoot yet again. The story for this game is quite simple really. It involves an evil scientist, Dr. Neocortex, and his partner, Dr. Nitrous Brio, who are trying to create an army of evil creatures to help them take over the world.
This time I shall reign triumphant!
When they place Crash in the Evolvo Ray, it backfires and he escapes, leaving his girlfriend Torna behind for whatever stupid fucking reason. Crash must now traverse 3 islands to get her back and ultimately kill everyone and everything that stands in his way. One thing though, the first time I played this game, I didn't know any of that until about halfway through the game. Why? Because one day I put the game in the console and walked off. Why? I don't know, probably to go and take a shit or something like that. Anyway, when I got back to the TV, I found this playing. Turns out the backstory only plays if you don't touch your controller at the main menu for about 20 seconds. Great. Wow, this review didn't start the way I thought it would. You might think that by the way I'm talking about this, that I don't like this game. But that is completely wrong. I love this game. It's one of the PlayStation classics. So the story isn't that great, that's not what we're here for. Anyway, the high quality of this game lies solely in its gameplay. You run from start to finish in a 3D environment, going forwards, backwards, left and right, smashing boxes and collecting Wumpa Fruit. Collecting 100 Wumpa Fruit earns you an extra life. And smashing boxes adds to a box counter. If you smash all the boxes in a level without dying, you'll be rewarded with a gem, but more on that later. Boxes contain many different items, including extra lives, Aku Aku masks that give Crash an extra hit point, and by collecting 3 of these masks, Crash is invincible for a short period of time. Except for holes, because, you know, Crash is a pussy. TNT boxes count down from 3, after which they explode, killing Crash and everything nearby, unless you spin them. In that case they kill you instantly. No shit, right? Other boxes contain mugshots of various characters from the game. Collecting 3 of a certain character will take you to a bonus stage where you can earn extra lives and keys. There are only 2 bonus stages that reward you with a key, and the keys unlock secret levels hidden on the map. The Torna bonus stage gives you the ability to save your game and get a continue password. You know, I always thought it was weird. We're supposed to be rescuing Torna from Cortex, yet we see her in the bonus stage. That makes no fucking sense. But if you fuck up on one of these bonus stages, it's gone. And if you want to try again, you have to start the level from scratch. So sucked in for fucking up. Did you know that in the prototype version of the game, there was another type of box called a power box? They were destroyed like TNT crates, except when they explode, they don't hurt Crash. They just destroy all nearby boxes, sometimes. They were not featured in many levels and were pretty pointless, which may be why they were removed from the game altogether. Besides, surely we already have enough power. After a few levels, you get to a boss battle, and if you thought the levels were easy so far, the boss fights make the regular levels look like rocket surgery. Seriously, why are they so fucking easy? The first boss, Papu Papu, is a huge Mayan tribe leader. It doesn't say much for his tribe when he goes down after 3 hits within less than 30 seconds. The rest of the boss fights are much the same. It's a shame that the first boss fight puts such a sour taste in the mouth of first time players. Although the boss fights are far from difficult and memorable, they still have some variety, from jumping on large TNT crates with Ripperoo, avoiding gunfire from Pinstripe Potteroo, or avoiding dangerous potions thrown by Embryo, But even with that said, the boss fights are nothing special. Did you know the voice of Ripperoo is an archived recording of the zoo hyena in the movie The Lady and the Tramp, just shortened and repeated? The level design in this game is still amazing even to this day compared to other games of its time. Games of this era required long load times for large areas, and the PlayStation could only render so many objects on screen at once. Crash is unique as the game draws an invisible circle around Crash. The game will only load objects and enemies that are within that circle, increasing the amount of objects that can be on screen at once and reducing load times, while still having large, highly detailed level design. As Crash progresses through the 3 islands, he experiences many different types of environments. The first island consists of mainly jungles and villages. The second island has dark temples, rivers, and volcanic craters. The final island changes the style of the game quickly. We go from the calm wilderness into an industrial wasteland of power plants, decaying bridges, lab areas, and even the outer walls of the castle. This sudden change in style adds a much more deeper feel to the final island, getting you ready for the challenge that lies ahead. Did you know that in recent years, video game hackers have found unused levels in Crash Bandicoot's coding? One level appears to be an old prototype for the Torna bonus stage. Another level, known as Acid Rain, is set in a cave with acid on the floor. Only the first part of the level exists, and there are no enemies or boxes. 2 other levels are more complete, taking place going up a waterfall, which would have taken place before the Ripperoo boss fight, and another climbing down a cliffside, possibly taking place after the same boss. Accessible through hacking, but also in the prototype version of the game, is another level, but the difference is that this level is finished, aside from its bonus stage, which was never created. The level, titled Stormy Ascent, is simply a harder version of the level Slippery Climb. It is said that this level was removed for its high difficulty. The music in this game is nothing special, but it helps to add more depth and realism into the levels. Hearing tribal drums pound as you race away from a giant boulder gets your heart pumping, while hearing echoed noises in the dark open laboratories freaks you the fuck out. I mean, just listen. There are not any real memorable songs from this soundtrack besides possibly Embryo and Cortex's boss theme. So speaking of Cortex, you've fought your way through the entire game and now it's up to the last fight. So you go on forth and fight the dirty little bastard. And when you beat his ass, that sounds really fucking gay. When you beat his ass in a pretty easy final boss fight, I might add, he falls off of his hoverboard and the credits roll. The end. Wait, you thought that was it? You fucking idiot, we still have the gems to talk about. Each level is filled with boxes, yeah, no shit, right? If you collect all of the boxes in a level, except the boxes in a bonus stage, without dying, you will be rewarded with a gem. Each level has a gem, and they are required for 100%. On receiving a gem, you also get a chance to save. There are clear gems and coloured gems. Coloured gems open new paths within other levels that most of the time lead to more boxes. Now let me explain something. You need to get all of the boxes in the level without dying. Without dying. Without dying. Without dying. Without fucking dying. This may be a good time to talk about the stiffness and slipperiness of the controls. It isn't really that big of an issue until you are actually backtracking your way through the world, completing insanely difficult levels on one life while making sure to break every box that are normally off the path in places that you may not have looked otherwise. Breathe in. Sometimes, especially in the later levels, it feels like you have to hold the buttons down with all your strength to get Crash to stay on course, while on other levels, if you're not careful, Crash will just go apeshit and spin off any fucking platform no matter how hard you press your thumbs down. This issue, added in with the cruel level design, is what makes the game so fucking hard. Crash Bandicoot definitely is not the sort of game that you can rush. The high difficulty level in this game is what turns a lot of people off of it. But those who beat the game are masters of their craft and surely do deserve a medal for their bravery and ability to conquer this hard son of a bitch. Sure, there are some much harder games out there, like Ghosts and Goblins on NES. But hey, I've beaten this game 100%. Sure, it took me probably 10 years for me to beat it, but hey, no more 100% code for me. I can just load up my 100% save file on my memory card. Once you get your final gem, the game awards you with the coveted trophy and the game's over. One thing I've always found weird though, is that you actually 100% the game without even beating Cortex. After you defeat Cortex, the game takes you back to the main menu without any password or any chance to save. But now that you have 100%, you can get the alternate ending, or as I like to call it, the shit ending with the bird and Pamela Anderson. So after all this bullshit and carrying on and me going to the toilet earlier, what are my thoughts on this game? The gameplay is hard, but rewarding. The game was groundbreaking for the time in the ways of pushing the boundaries of the PlayStation's capabilities. The story so far is nothing special. It's fun smashing boxes, but not so fun fighting bosses. Overall, the game gets a score of 7 out of 10. It's a good game, but it isn't really anything special by today's standards. It was great, but not so much anymore. The difficulty and skill it takes to 100% this game are greater than anything by today's standards, but other than that, it is just a good title to experience. Next time I'll be taking a look at Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.